A little early. How we doing? Starting a little early. Casper, what's up? Jocko, what's up? With us starting early, that means I kind of just got to sit here now and wait for people to come in before I start breaking things down. But Jocko, as far as you saying we selling and buying, you're pretty much right. And that's because I have two different biases today. We're going to go over it right now. You can probably already kind of see the start of it, but I really break it down in depth on why I think price should sell. We'll go into yesterday's trade too, but let's wait a minute. A lot of people do end up waiting for the later hours to hop in here. Sorry, that was loud. But what's up, guys? I don't know if you guys saw yesterday, I called this Euro USD trade during stream actually, and I called it to my group, and I did say I was hopping in. Guys, ended up playing out for a beautiful 1 to 2.43. Beautiful trade that played out, guys. This is my first Forex trade that I've taken in probably over a month. Yeah, over a month for sure. And honestly, beautiful. This is giving me really good hope that price can hopefully start playing out, and we see better movement as we go into quarter three. I'm still trade DAX, of course, but I'm just going over the Euro USD trade I took last night. Again, this is with Forex, supply and demand, super simple entry. And again, if we just go to the daily time frame, you can see we're pretty overbought, so we can expect a pullback. We can see the last couple of days we've definitely been pretty bearish. Because of the 4 hour, again, you can clearly see price is just making new lows, where again, you can kind of now infer with price showing those early signs of sells, price is most likely going to come and facilitate this daily pullback. And again, that's really the structure I was following, and I just saw this hourly setup following structure. Beautiful. As price then comes further down, I do think price will continue to make these lows, and again, we can continue to capitalize if we keep getting opportunity as good as this. Again, this is my first trade in over a month on Forex, for the sole reason that this is the only opportunity that's really presented itself that has looked this good. That's actually played out. There's been other opportunity that just runs for me or doesn't miss. I think there was like 2 weeks ago, there was one that came up to my zone, missed about 2 pips and then ran a TB. Sucks, but again, can't do anything about it. But thankfully, we're able to capitalize this. Great month for Forex already, great start to the month for Forex. Great start to the month for indices. Yesterday, we did end up losing. If you guys ended up hopping out of the stream early, it was stayed here for 2 hours. Price looked good, then it looked bad, then it looked good. But ultimately, I think price looked really good. I can't be mad at that trade. The setup was beautiful. It was my setup. It was my plan. I executed. I shot. Did what I needed to do. I managed it perfectly. And by the time we did end up getting out, we were able to minimize our stop loss to about half. Stop was up here originally, and thankfully, because we're able to understand what price was doing, which again was staying within this bullish range that we were kind of going against, which wasn't a problem. I was able to minimize stop loss, and again, we took way less of a loss than what we really were intending to. So we're still going to run up today. I think, let's go into the bias for today. I think sales are now to take place. So if you guys were here yesterday, sorry, I'm out of breath. If you guys were here yesterday, I told you, if we were to lose today, price is most likely going to go up and sweep last week's high. And again, that's what we're doing. We are now above last week's high. And again, price doesn't necessarily have to pull back now, but I am expecting a pullback. Why? Because if we just look at the lower time frames, we can clearly see we're leaving gaps within the market. I can infer that if price were to give me entry here at open, price is most likely going to sell off, fill these gaps again on every single time frame. You can see we have a lot of gaps that price could come down and fill into, especially being that we just made a new high. Price is bound to have a pullback at some point. It doesn't have to happen now, but at some point it will. But in this case, this is a very good setup for us to hold. So if we do end up getting this setup and we do end up running the TP, because we're account flipping right now, this is the type of setup where I am going to consider holding, just due to the fact that higher time frames are really supporting it, right? Especially being that if we were to facilitate this whole pullback, we'd at least come down possibly into this imbalance where we could secure hopefully a 103, 104, which would be amazing. But let's go to the lower time frames. Again, everything's really supporting it, especially the 5 minute. If we come all the way down here, we can see that price, 1, swept New York from yesterday, and then 2, Tokyo highs has already been manipulated. Now we're coming down, and again, we're coming down into this POI, and we've seemingly rejecting it. But if price does open bearish at London Open, I'm going to shoot for sales. Again, I'd like to see price take these lows, and at that point, I'd move to break even just to potentially play it safe. But the one thing I am worried about is if price does just make massive gaps at open to sweep this, we're definitely going to see price pull back and then possibly take off lower. So it's really going to come down to, are we content with profits depending on how big our TP is, depending on where stop loss is at the time of entry. We could just exit at 101, be fine, walk away. Or we could just leave stops open and really play the higher time frame bias that price should continue to sell off, and run it up and hope to see that 103, 104. And again, the only reason I take that approach right now versus like if we were regularly trading is because we're account flipping right now. So that's where I may just say fuck it and just leave stops open, leave TP open, and let price run into some type of area of imbalance like down here. Again, I do think price does have that capability. Doesn't have to happen now though. It doesn't. But let's go to UK 100 because again, we kind of spent a lot of time there. I think sells can definitely take place UK 100, but it's looking like one, we're definitely bullish, and I definitely think that price can pull back, and that's why I think sells definitely could happen. But if we come to a lower time frame, we have not manipulated either side here. So my thing is, we may see a bullish open to sweep liquidity to then come down, or we could just see price sell off. My one thing is, with price selling off from here, this is where I would enter. And I wouldn't like that lows are right here, because realistically price could just come down, sweep lows, and then come take highs. It could. So that's where I probably wouldn't enter sells unless price did take these highs, made another type of area of support that I could use as entry. But at that point, we're probably already in DAX and we're probably already, doing our thing. So we'll see what happens on DAX. Again, we're seeing a bullish reaction. Doesn't matter. I'd actually prefer that now, because if we start top wicking, it's just showing us a little bit stronger bias that price should end up selling off. But this is just extending our stop loss at this point. So not a good thing. Morning. What's up, Adara? Cartoony. Name one person you share a birthday with. I remember there was a teacher that I shared a birthday with in 4th grade. What's good, chat? What's good, Edgar? I feel like I was yapping a lot, but for DAX, for UK 100 guys, like you could take buys as well. I think buys could be possible, especially at a break here. Way better looking than sells as far as where this area would be. But again, where stops would probably want to be down here and TP would be here. So again, you would have to hope for a really big push. And again, I just don't have a lot of hope in UK 100 pushing a lot if it does end up pushing bullish at the open, because I do think price is bound to come back down, facilitate this pullback. Again, it doesn't have to happen today. It doesn't, but I do think it is bound to happen. And we'll see. We'll see what London Open gives us. DAX is looking bullish. Again, they could totally do the opposite thing. They could. But like the thing is, like UK 100 really could end up selling hard, and I may not enter it. And again, it would just be data. If I don't enter, it would be data. Why? Because again, I don't want to enter due to how close we are to this major point of liquidity. But if price just totally validates that, I can go into data and say, okay, going forward, if my higher time frames are giving me this strong of a bias that price should go this direction, and it does go this direction, and even though we're approaching super close to a liquidity point where price could potentially flip, going forward, I could see myself entering these trades because of how strong my higher time frame bias is. You know what I'm saying? So again, even if we don't enter sells on UK 100, I think we'll get them here. Hopefully, we're just making a bigger stop, which I don't like. We could, it'd be nice to see price take liquidity again. That'd be really awesome if price came up, took even more liquidity up here, because there's definitely liquidity sitting up here, and then came back down at open. That would make me happy. Did anyone catch this Euro USD trade? Especially anyone in my Discord. I know I called it last minute, but did anyone catch it? DAX is flying, guys, but that's fine. Let's see. At this point, I hope it just pushes to these highs, take these highs super quick. We still have 7 minutes. We still have quite a while. We still have a whole other candle that's going to print that could end up taking those highs. So we'll see. Guys, UK 100 looks so good. UK 100 looks so good for sells if price did open bearish. I just hate how close this liquidity point is. I really could enter potentially, and as soon as price took that, and push like a little bit lower, I could just instantly just stops break even and just like hope price just moves with volume just to play it safe, because I just hate that. I hate that. Hey, thanks for the shout out on your vid, Nix. Of course, Rice. You're killing it, my man. I'll make another. I'll at you next time. My bad. I should ask you for your Instagram. Next one. I know you're gonna keep killing it. You keep killing it. I'll at you. I'll shout you out. Yeah, definitely. What's up, Chew? Alright, guys. Price took those highs, so that could be a good thing. But it also could be price running bullish for this session. Again, if that's the case, I'm fine with that. Could be the case here too, just to take these highs. Sells on DAX, I'm expecting it. But again, price doesn't have to. There could be a different objective for the day. But we still have a full 6 minutes. I think we're definitely most likely taking liquidity. What I do like is we're now coming up, filling in these final gaps that were left within this market. Come up a little bit more. So that could just be, again, if price were to flip from here and now start coming down and not let an open break, I would now have more confidence just due to the fact that price has come up, taken even more liquidity, has filled in all gaps, and is now looking to come back down. That'd be very, very nice to see. But again, it doesn't have to happen. With UK 100, on the other hand, yes, sales look very good. Higher time frames look very good. It looks like we at some point, again, we have to facilitate a pullback. We have a bunch of imbalance down here that price needs to at some point fill in. The only thing is this low here is just way too close. And again, maybe I shoot, maybe. Who knows? Again, at this, we're account flipping. We can fuck around, high risk, high reward type of deal. Especially with higher time frame bias so strong, you know, because we don't want to miss a move technically, but at the same time, kind of want to follow my plan at the end of the day. If you guys are trading on a regular account, so. We'll see what happens. We'll see. What are your thoughts on breaker blocks? I don't necessarily trade them, but like I hear a lot of people say like, because like a breaker block can align like with like another supplier demand area, and again, like if you see that, I guess it could be like you have another confluence. I don't look at it. Even when it comes to like my forex trading, I don't look at it. I have a friend who trades it and he's been actually killing it with it. So again, it could be good. I just don't trade it enough to like really give you like an opinion to say like, oh, it's this and that. But I think it's an extra confluence for sure. And again, if it's part of your plan, it's part of your plan. What I'm thinking UK 100 might do too, guys, is just come up, take these highs, and then come back down. And if that's the case, then I may be willing to shoot, even though we have this liquidity point sitting super close. But at least I know that sell side liquidity has been taken, so I really would have less of a worry that price should come back up after manipulating these lows. So honestly, that's some of a good thing. But again, if price just runs bullish here, let's stay on our hands. We have no problem. It sucks that, I mean, last time we did an account flip, price just ended up being a little bit slower. It's not necessarily slower, but we'll see. We definitely still can get entry. I think price is bound to sell off at some point. I'm still wearing them sorry ass shorts. Dude, I was going to the gym, bro. It's leg day. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. I will. Cartoony, look who you started. Now we got Edgar talking shit. Bro, y'all can't be clowning on me. Do you guys know Andrew Tate? Andrew Tate be wearing some short ass shorts. So don't talk shit on me. Gay stripper ass shorts. Cartoony, dude, you're this close from being put on a fucking timeout. Don't ever come at me like that. I mean, I did borrow him from Luca, so nah. Should probably be like a little ready, huh? I didn't like you. I wish UK 100 came up. We may see that if price at Let It Open may wick up just to take those highs. And if we see price run back down, I may just enter. The stops would be pretty big. I wouldn't enter yet in UK 100. We didn't purge those highs. We may run here on DAX. It's a possibility. Stops would be massive right now, though. That's what I don't like, is how big stops would be if we did end up taking this trade, but let's see what happens. DAX is definitely pushing up here, and I mean, if that's the case, that's the case. There's really no entry at the point it's at now, for me at least, unless we took these highs. But even then, we could just be purging these highs real quick just to come back down. Send the source. I'm trying to cop. Short shirts are best. Men wear short shirts and boys baggy. What? Nah, there's like a new trend, bro, and I don't even think I can get on it where like dudes are actually wearing like cropped shirts, bro. And I'm like, nah, like, and like I'm talking like straight guys too. Price may just run bullish, guys, and if that's the case, I'm sitting on my hands. I mean, we're not doing bad this week. We have 1 win, 1 loss when it comes to indices. 1 win on Forex. Beautiful. Probably pay attention, huh? Because DAX could definitely flip. Again, we just ran these highs, so we'll see what happens from here. Same at UK 100, but you'd have to see a decent amount of volume step in the market. Yesterday was a little chopped. Yesterday, price like struggled to pick direction, at least on DAX, until later in the market. Then it kind of just decided to fly like 2-3 hours after open. That's some Duke Dennis shit. Honestly, yeah. Again, it'd be even better for us to see price top wick here and totally flip. But the one thing is I don't want stops that big. That's fucking ridiculous. So I would hope to see price again chop around throughout these next 5 minutes. Let another candle print, hopefully, to where we can actually, again, not have such big stop loss. I told you guys price definitely could buy. We did see it happen like a little bit pre-open, like pre-market, just because, again, we did have highs here and I could have shot, but again, price isn't promised to do this. Price could have just ran these highs and flipped. Definitely could have been a possibility. And again, at the end of the day, I'm not going to take I'm not going to shoot at something where, again, I'm going against probabilities. Probabilities weren't there. And in this case, yes, price shot up. But what am I going to do? Guys, you already know what I'm going to say. I'm going to go into data as far as this. I'm going to put it into my back testing session and being like, hey, look, I knew that price definitely did look good for buys, especially being that we did have these highs sitting here, which is a very strong liquidity point, as well as these highs. But just focusing on these highs, again, we knew price could go and manipulate that. And that is what happened. Sadly, it wasn't during the London opening candle, but it did still happen. And again, maybe going forward, I could see myself possibly entering pre-London, which again, I've rarely ever do that, and if I am, it's like 5 seconds before. This would have been like a full 5 minutes before, as well as the fact that, again, price was so close to here, it's not promised that price is going to come up all this way. Going later into data, I may find that it's worth it shooting on these ones, because more likely than not, price does end up running. That could be a possibility. But if I find out later on that price more than likely just takes liquidity, especially being we still had lows sitting here open, which is even more liquidity. Price definitely could be subject to just flipping at that point, more likely, more than it does run, right? And again, I'm just telling you guys that too, because take that into your own trading. Take that into your own trading. Like with here, at least though, yes, there's liquidity because again, we still have those highs sitting there, but being we already manipulated that session high and we still had session lows open. If price did run bearish, again, price is most likely going to continue bearish. At least into those lows, we can move to break even and let price run from there and hope to see price make a pretty good push down. But again, we could be doing something totally different. The weekly pushed pretty high. Again, we did sweep last week's high, and again, at some point, I expect a pullback. Could happen tomorrow. Could happen tomorrow. And again, if we just don't take a trade today, we come in tomorrow ready to kill it and we win. I'm so fine with that. So fine with that. But it sucks having a no trade day. Stops, even then, like stops would have wanted to be done here. You would have ran one. You would already been 101 for sure. But who caught those? Anyone catch buys? Anyone catch buys? Again, buys weren't necessarily bad. Even if you took this break here too, but again, that happened pre-London as well. The bottom wick was kind of crazy, I can't lie. Ideally. It's got some bullish markets for now, guys. You did on UK, fire. Fire, yeah, UK looked good. UK looked good. I would rather take UK than DAX for sure. And again, I think I'll go in data and say, okay, maybe eventually I could see myself shooting here because I know even if it happens pre-market, price should, in theory, if it's pushing this bullish and breaking these highs, should at least come up into here and I could have moved to break even. And yes, price would have ran. But London could open and bottom wicked and then ran and then I would have been about break even, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You guys know what I'm saying? But again, looks like price is running. Again, we might have a short stream yesterday. It was way too long of a stream, way too long. I loved it. I enjoyed you guys sticking around, but wow. Let's see if there's anything on Forex. Again, we're going to give it like 5 to 10 minutes to see what price does. We're only within the first 6 minutes of open. So price definitely still has room to move around. Definitely does. But the way it's looking now, it looks like price has picked its direction. At some point, it will turn, like it will come back, but it might just be to facilitate that pullback. So we may just consider this a lost cause at that point. I was just looking at you only top songs. Calm down, my guy. Calm down. Dude, no, there was a part that they were recording and I was like telling the story that I told you guys on stream the other day about like that guy in the coffee shop or whatever. And I was like, nah, you gotta cut that. There's another part too. I was like, nah, you gotta cut that. Thankfully he did. I thought he was gonna fucking put it in there and just like, it was funny, but good job not entering trade, bro. Fuck you, Cartoony. No, but again, I mean, this happens, guys. I have time. We have time. Again, we're not rushing into, again, we're high risk, high reward trading as far as account flipping, but there's no reason to rush things. Again, we could have ended up buying today on UK 100, definitely, and we would have been happy. We would have all been happy. But I would have not been happy if we did buy, broke our rules to buy pre-London, price came up to Tokyo highs and just flipped that open, and then we ended up taking a loss. You know, that's where I would have been like very upset because it's like I broke my rules, and you know what I'm saying? Remember what I tell you guys, sometimes a winning trade can be worse than a losing trade, especially if you break your rules. But again, that doesn't mean I can't end up changing my rules to allow this at some point, right? Right. I mean, price could definitely 100% flip from here and just completely melt the entire rest of the session. Again, we just took highs. We took yesterday's highs. Took yesterday's highs here as well. So we could see that, guys. I mean, I'm still willing to stick around for a little bit and see what happens within the next 15 to 20 minutes. We definitely still could get entry. My one thing is within the next 15 to 20 minutes, price could just come down, fill these gaps and come higher. And then at that point, I'm like, hey guys, like at the no trade day, we're chilling. But we have some really good liquidity sweeps as far as sell side, taking a lot of this liquidity. And now I can expect price to take buy side. Tell us the craziest encounter you've had in the middle of the street. I went to a rave and like, I can't even say this. Nah. Let me think of another one. That one's not even that crazy. I don't know. I feel like there has been some crazy shit. Probably just like homeless people yelling and all that. Homeless people be tweaking out sometimes, especially in California. There's a lot of tweakers, man. I don't think there's ever been like a shooting in front of me. Thank the Lord, and knock on wood. You know, like. But maybe like a fight. I think there's definitely been a fight in front of me. Tell me about it. LA people specifically, yeah. Oh yeah. What I was gonna tell you did happen in LA. It's when I went to a rave, and like this homeless guy was just like tweaking out on me for some reason. I was like, "What's your fucking deal?" Thoughts on Trump's big beautiful bill? Cartooning. We talked about this about 242 times. I don't talk politics. PR trained, buddy. Calm down. But I always say we could have the same opinion. I'm just not going to share mine. Simple as that. Simple as that. Because at the end of the day, like, I don't care about your opinion. You shouldn't care about mine. At the end of the day, let's just make money. Let's trade. Okay. I PR trained myself. Ashley. That's crazy. Hi. Jocko, what you doing? I know you're sitting around lurking. FOMC meeting later. I definitely expect this bearish reaction, but it doesn't necessarily have to be long. No trade didn't enter. Buys. Pity. You're good, man. I don't think buys necessarily look the best. I mean, at the end of the day, there's going to be better setups, and tomorrow we're going to come back and it's the same thing, rinse and repeat. Same thing. Me and Cartoony on the same bed watching your stream. Good to know. And I don't doubt it. So you flew all the way to Nigeria, or you flew him out from Nigeria, or what? How'd that work? Tell me. Some people are definitely getting sells here, and again, like I could say, like if you wanted to, like now that we are taking pretty strong highs, you could enter these sells just to fill these gaps in here, but that's just not my style of trading. So that's something we're not necessarily going to shoot there on. I don't want to stick around for a long time. And when I say long time, I just mean I don't want to stick around for 2 hours again. Hey guys, what's up? I just got here. What did I miss? Am I short? I am short in CTUSD. Hell yeah. I'll check it out right now. Didn't miss much. Oh my god. Where's my fucking Gatorade? But we were expecting sales off the rip. Did not happen. Again, that's fine. Buys did look good on UK 100, but we were just super close to a liquidity point where, in my eyes, it just wasn't really worth taking it, especially when price did break the area of resistance. But price could definitely end up still selling off. We just took major highs on both DAX and UK 100, which was yesterday's highs. And I am expecting a pullback on the higher time frames at some point. Doesn't have to happen now. Again, price is still overall bullish, so we could still definitely continue that. But that's why I really do play the breaks, especially at open, because that's usually going to tell me where price is going to go for the session. In this case, it did run bullish, but I can't lie. If price did flip here and we did see these breaks, I could see myself entering, and yes, I may be break even pretty fast, and that could be a cause for us being taken out at break even, depending on how choppy price is and depending on how much volume is in the market at that time. But that's fine. That's fine, because I do think price is bound to sell off, and if we can catch some profits, beautiful. No trades. Yeah, no trades. Even UK 100, like I'd consider possibly entering UK 100. At first, no, but now that we've taken so much liquidity within this area, I mean, so much liquidity we've taken, that now if price did break this area, if I had pretty good stops, I'd consider shooting, especially if I were to just be looking at this 4-hour leg and maybe target that equilibrium. If price were to facilitate that deeper pullback, not even a deep pullback, this would just be facilitation to the equilibrium. We could see price then continue that deeper pullback to fill this other area of imbalance in. So UK 100 still possibly looking good. Still is. Again, I'd want to see price just totally disrespect all this. I'd honestly like to see price, and even if I have to wait 45 minutes, I'd want to see price definitely top wick and fill these gaps in as price comes down, because then that would just definitely do us way better, as far as having a way better stop loss, because at this point it would still have to be up here just due to the fact that we have this gap. So I would hope price wouldn't just break down with volume here, just because at some point price would have to pull up and we just have massive stops. And again, it wouldn't be a terrible thing, but that's massive stops. I don't want to have that big of a stop. I don't. But we'll see. NQ longs. Are you in NQ longs right now? I think longs can be fire. Again, we swept these lows. Nice little liquidity sweep. And again, we could be looking, this again could just be facilitating this pullback, fill these gaps to then run higher to manipulate Tokyo highs. I don't really trade NASDAQ during London, but again, that's how I would look at it at least. Alright guys, I don't like this. I do obviously that it's going down, but I really want to see price fill these fucking gaps in first. Way too big of a stop loss. I'm almost considering not even entering just due to how big this fucking stop loss is. Again, I'm not saying price can't run down, but my biggest fear is if price just continues to dump like this, it could just be a liquidity sweep of these lows to then push higher, right? Versus if I do see structure just starting to hold, filling these gaps in as we approach down and then breaks it, it's a little bit different of a story, at least to me. What are you guys up to? Again, like I said, you could have caught these sales early on, especially being that we did take very strong areas of buy side liquidity. Price is bound to react after that, but not my style of trading. Did you guys enter that? I know some people do trade like that. All right, guys, it might be another long night, but if that means a win, I'm fine with that. Again, DAX looks so much better. But UK 100 still looks great. Especially that top wick. Wow. Top wick's looking beautiful. That's just screaming sells, man. Especially if we close like that. Actually, nah, I wanted to close definitely way more bearish. Dude, stacking, it was. Stacking, I'll get back to your DM. I think you DM'd me. I don't know if I got back to it. But I'm gonna send the team the email. Yeah, I didn't know it didn't send it to you like that. Again, it's probably gonna, I'm telling you, when I send it to them, it takes like a week sometimes to send it out. So you're but at least you figured out what was the issue. What do you mean by that? Jenny, shut the fuck up. UK 100 definitely could just be coming down, filling these gaps to run higher. We definitely could see that, but I'm not surprised that price is doing this, and maybe the next candle we'll see price run up, fill that gap to then come back down. Beautiful, because then we can come down, move stops, which is even better. Then hopefully price again continues to make these new highs where we can adjust stops slowly to when we do enter, we have a way bigger RR, right? We'll see. We definitely could stay with that buy bias. Dude, I'm so tired already. Sleep stream with Nicks while I wait for his trade. Someone can call me right when entry comes around the corner. I don't know, like streamers can do that, like sleep streams. Like I feel like I don't want someone watching me sleep. The fuck? I mean, I guess it would be like lit if I was making a couple $100,000 a month for sleeping on stream, you know? Because again, the longer they're live, the more money they make. The fuck was that? Do it? Of course you want to see that, Edgar. I feel like live streaming, like IRL live streaming, is definitely hard to get going. Like I feel like I could do it because I have a decent network and the position I'm in is a lot better than what it would be if I was just starting at nothing. But I definitely feel like being plugged in is the best way to get started. Like I don't know if you guys know, like a lot of the cameramen that like will stream for like FaZe and DDG, you know, these like big IRL streamers, they'll end up streaming themselves because they have those connects, because they have the platform already and the people around them to take them off. And again, I'm not saying, I mean, it's not that I have those, you know, I don't have IRL streamers around me, you know, but I still think it would be possible to do it. Just consistency, you know, I'd really have to be consistent, but yeah, I don't know. Dax is doing Dax things. Good morning to all. Hartes, I'm glad it's the morning for you. It's nighttime. I'm tired. I'm expecting price to still chop around for 30 minutes. Even then, like I want to see it fill this gap in above us before it comes down, which is going to take even more time. This always happens. Every account flip that we do, the week always starts a little bit slower than usual. And then we'll stop doing the account flip, go back to regular trading. I'm not necessarily complaining, but at the same time, I don't know why it always happens like that. They don't hop on a win streak when we're not account flipping. 2-week win streak, go crazy. Damn, looking at DAX, UK 100 fire. What are you thinking? Hardtouch, tell me what you think for UK 100 and DAX. Originally, I was anticipating sells off the rip, especially like just looking at higher time frames. I'm still kind of expecting sells if price were to give me the right the right confirmations. Again, I want to see this gap be filled in. It would just give me a lot more confidence when price did push down. And it would also help me, again, adjust stop loss to be a little bit shorter, which I, again, would like before entry is given to me. Same thing with DAX. I was expecting sells, but I'm really big on, yes, I can have a bias as far as where I think price should go based off liquidity points and like where we're at as far as within price or within the range. But it really comes to the break at London Open. In this case, it ran bullish, and that's fine. I mean, if it ran bearish, I would have shot, entered. And again, majority of times, if it's going to open bearish and we have liquidity points to target or pullbacks to facilitate, price is going to run in that direction. So I think at some point DAX is bound to sell off. Again, we could see it later on into London, and sometimes we do. There's been multiple times where I do come back to the markets tomorrow morning, and then I do see that price did play out with my bias, but again, price just wanted to kind of linger up here first. Maybe there was another objective it had at the start of London, and then price will play out during New York or something. It's like stuffy as hell in here. I think I gotta go. Nah, not go. Like, not go. But give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm not getting off stream yet. I really do think price is bound to sell. We're gonna see if we can get a late entry, and if we can, we can. If not, not. Give me 1 second. I'm right back. Gotta get a Gatorade. I ran to the gas station real quick. Got a Gatorade and ran back. Y'all believe that? Or not? I'm thinking short DAX was so weird yesterday, though. DAX was weird. Were you here yesterday, Harte? I don't know if you're here. DAX yesterday, we did take sells. And again, it didn't pick a direction. I really expected sells to take place to come into buy side. We already took all of sell side liquidity. So at that point, once I did get that bearish break at the open, I was anticipating price to pick that direction and continue down into this liquidity. Didn't happen. That's fine. We were thankfully able to minimize our stop loss by quite a lot. I'm pretty sure more than half, if not half. So really can't complain about that. At the end of the day, it was my setup, but now we're kind of sitting here, price being a little bit weird on DAX. I do think sales are going to take place. I do think sales are going to take place on UK 100. I really do not want to enter with this big of a stop loss, guys. I really don't, but I'm considering it because I have a feeling price is just going to do what it wants and sell off. But at that point, we are playing a little bit more risky. I may under risk a little bit instead of risking, the original amount, or again, in some cases, I may over risk during this account flip, just depending on the trade setup. But if price were to just continue down with just momentum and breaks, we may enter and just keep stops up here. But at that point, like, I might be like, at that point, that could be another 2-hour stream. Do I want to sit through that? I'm not saying I don't, because sometimes that's necessary in trading. But I'm just used to those fucking 15-second trades, those 30-second trades, in and out type positions. But it would be not necessarily shorter overnight, but if price did, obviously it would take some time to come back up to fill this gap and then come down. It would just make me a lot more comfortable. A lot more comfortable. So what were you expecting yesterday, Harte? Were you expecting sells yesterday as well? I don't know how you trade. Do you trade similarly to me? Do you trade different? Do you trade breakouts? Do you trade liquidity sweeps, supply and demand? Do you trade ICT, inverse fair value gaps? Who is all that, you know? W in chat to get Nick to do an IRL live stream. Nobody said W, Edgar. I got my answer. People heard 2-hour stream and they hopped out of here real quick. Real quick. ORB, what's that? Maybe I'm just not familiar with the term. Word. And WL chat. Not a lot of people in here tonight. That's fine. That happens every time I take a loss. And it's stupid because, and like, my thing is like, opening range breakout. Okay, so kind of similarly to me, but do you look at any other like things like liquidity, or you just really like wherever it breaks, I'm taking? Same two people to spamming W, but you guys are amazing. What was I gonna say? Oh, because what I was gonna say is a lot of times, like after a loss, like we'll be on a win streak, people will see that you're on a win streak, join in, and then it's like, okay, at some point you have to lose. Like, it's trading. Take a loss. Again, a lot of people come in, see that loss, and like, damn, and then they just dip. But then it's like, you don't know if I would have won today. You don't know if it would have been a big win today. What if we would have ran a 1-3 today and you just didn't join? And then you see me post about a 1-3 and you're like, I'm gonna join tomorrow. And let's say I naturally just take a loss, but I caught that 1-3, so I'm totally fine. And you're not, because you missed that 1-3 because you weren't consistent with it. So like, I love streaming to you guys only to give you guys guidance and to give you guys knowledge, but I can't really support people taking signals unless you're going to be as consistent with the person who's calling those signals. Same thing with your own trading is like, you can't expect to ever like make it past that break even point in trading, or even that losing point, if you're not consistent. Because all it takes is for you to miss one day because you're too tired. That one day could have been your winning setup, and then now you have a negative win rate or a far smaller win rate than you would have had at the end of the month than if you would have woken up and executed on that setup. Signals for lazy people. Sometimes, yes, like sometimes you can capitalize on signals. You can actually learn a lot from signals. You can learn a lot of good things and bad things. You can learn that signals technically or really aren't good. And there's a difference between live trading and signals. Like with live trading, you guys have my actual live analysis, my live entry. So it's way different. But the same thing goes with signals, is you have to still be consistent because you're still taking someone else's trade. I'm consistent because I'm trading for myself. I'm here every single day, you know, because I know that's what it takes, right? If I missed one day, and yes, there may be a time where an emergency comes up and you have to miss a day, that's fine, right? Life happens. But again, you cannot just be lazy and not show up. Or let's say you took a loss the day before and now you're bummed out and you don't want to come back the next day, and it's like, you can't do that. That's just ultimately going to hurt you even more, right? Obviously, there's some times where it's best to stay out of the markets and sit on your hands, but that's a totally different topic. That's a totally different conversation. I document every trade now and started learning so I can do this without any help. Exactly. Perfect. See, guys, take Harte's approach. Like, seriously, like, if there's one thing I want you guys to learn from this, and I talk about it all the time, having a system, following every single day, and then getting data. Like, there's 21 of you in here right now. Yeah, usually there's 50, but those extra 30 people that are in here when I'm calling that signal right at London Open are only here to catch a win, to take the signal. They're not here to trade. They're not here to learn. Be happy that the 21 of you that are actually sitting here right now are actually learning. You're learning something. I'm teaching you something. You know, again, even if you're already doing good, there's stuff I may know that you don't know, right? If you're doing bad, if you're at the start of the journey, I have years of experience that I can, again, transfer to you just over a 30-minute live stream. So much, right? And again, you can take my signals, you can take my trades, but as you take my trades, if that's all you're doing, start up shifting into, okay, I'm gonna take his trades, but I'm gonna make my own system. Even if it's his same exact system, I'm gonna make my same system. And then challenge yourself to come into the markets. You can solve my stream up, but before you pull my stream up, make your own bias. Go into the market, see if you can find your own bias. And then when I hop in, see if it aligns with my bias. Perfect. If it does, like I always say, majority of the time we're going to make money together. But if it doesn't align with my bias, again, you can change it. You can hear my analysis, see if that shifts your analysis, or you can stick with your original bias, because I'm not right all the time. I'm not, I admit that. And again, anyone should be able to admit that, because it's trading at the end of the day. Nobody, if anyone told me that they had 100% win rate, again, I could believe it for maybe a month, but for a year span, never losing, you're bullshitting me. I should slap the fuck out of you. Sorry to cuss, bro, dog. Sorry to cuss. Honestly, appreciate anyone who's helping others out here live streaming for free while they can change people in one way or another. Exactly. That's really why I'm doing it. And honestly, I'm so grateful that Luca gave me this opportunity. I was already kind of streaming on my own, but again, now I have a bigger community. Now I have more people to talk to, more lives to change, and I can genuinely say I have changed lives. I do help in Luca's mentorship, where we do have quite a bit of students who went from not knowing anything or some stuff and really being able to hop over the edge, again, just from kind of holding their hands. Yeah, Nick doing Pip Labs. It lets you replay price action like it's live trading. Wonder if you've tried it. No, I haven't tried it. I know there's something else called, oh my God, I just had the name on the tip of my tongue. There's another backtesting website, but I've never heard of that. I'm gonna screenshot that or go back and I'm gonna look it up. I assume it's like a monthly fee, because I know the other one's a monthly fee. But if I can play price back like live time, that's pretty cool for anyone, because trading view is kind of weird, I think, right? Does it play price back? No. Yeah, see, that sucks, where it just like kind of jumps. And it doesn't necessarily play price back like as it would be playing now. Guys, I like these sells and like I want to call them, but at the same time, like it's just going to be such a stretched out trade, like probably hours after, and I don't want to just let a trade sit. And the reason for that is because yesterday we stayed on and we were able to manage our trade accordingly, and we're able to minimize our stop loss. And in this case, like if I would enter, let's say at some point, let's say I did just get off and there was opportunity to move my stop loss and end up being a loss, it would be upsetting that I did get off, and I could have definitely minimized our risk. But price is just moving pretty slow. I think I'm just going to end it here. I don't think it's worth taking a trade. I really don't think it is. Gambling stream? Maybe, Edgar. I love gambling. Just kidding. Has free plan and uses trading view like its layout. Okay. I'm going to check it out then. I'm going to check it out. But again, guys, like I was saying, price is kind of slowing down now. I'm not saying price is bound to move, obviously, but keep an eye on it, guys. If you guys do want to enter sells at some point, I do think price is bound to sell. We do need to facilitate this pullback. And again, I'll kind of be gradually watching price as I do some work throughout the night. And again, I'll see what price does. If it does end up playing out perfect, what am I going to do? I'm going to go put this in a backtesting section in my data, and I'm going to say, okay, price did end up playing out through my bias. It did play out longer, even though price was slow. It could have been a valid entry if I would have stayed up. Am I going to consider it in the future? Maybe, but let me get some more data going forward to make sure that, okay, I can confidently enter these trades, even though they're very, like, again, in this case, we're extremely bullish. If price were to just dump here, I'm afraid price could just sweep liquidity to come higher, especially being we're leaving gaps. But again, it may not. It may not. Overall, higher time frame bias is very, very, very strong. Okay, I can say that higher time frame bias is key. And if it plays out, it plays out. See, it's playing out now. Like, I'm considering taking it. Like, shit's pissing me off. I guess I gotta stay longer. Nah, I think I'm still gonna end it, guys. It's not worth it to me. There's gonna be opportunity the rest of the week, guys. We're break even for this week. As far as the count flip, we are a little bit down because we did under risk our first trade, our first win, and I didn't necessarily over risk our loss, but did risk heavier because again, we are going for a high risk, high reward, but we're still looking very, very good. I think we're at like $460 on the account. So literally nothing to be worried about. We've only taken 2 trades. Again, we'll see what happens next week. I could shoot here, but again, we're going to be ending up waiting a 2-hour stream. I'm not really up for that. But again, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Be back tomorrow. Again, you guys never know what's going to happen. You never know where there's going to be a massive win, especially now when we're trading these account flips. We are going for bigger wins if we can, if things line up. So again, be here tomorrow. I appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in. Again, all 20 of you that stuck around, again, appreciate every single one of you guys. Be proud that you actually are sitting here, unlike the other 30 people that did hop out, because those 30 people, I'm telling you, we're only here for the signals. You guys are here for the knowledge. Seriously. So again, run with that. If you guys didn't know, I really started seeing changes in my trading when I started watching Emmett Trades live on YouTube for free. He taught me how to journal. He taught me how to data just from his free live streams. And if I can now reciprocate that and teach you guys that makes me happy. Even if we fucking lose the rest of the year, knock on wood, that's not going to happen. We only win. But seriously, if I can just teach you guys one thing, make a plan, start tracking your trades. You're going to see such a big improvement in your trading overall. Even if you do go through a losing season, if you're taking those losses, tracking them, and learning from them, again, you're bound for success. I'm telling you. Again, you guys are amazing. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys all tomorrow.